Good morning, good afternoon. This is a completion of the last vision I had about kids in hell. About kids in hell. I couldn't release the video last time because the first time I saw the vision, I was overwhelmed and my stomach was literally turning within me, having seen this vision. It was too sad to express, and therefore I had to stop before I could reveal what it was that God was showing me. But I've had some time to think about it and realize that it is a vision worth sharing because I know it's not spoken about, nor has the Lord revealed it to many, if any at all, for a reason. There are certain things that the Lord thinks that men are not capable of interpreting rightly. They panic, they are overwhelmed, they are youthful in their minds. So certain visions are not given or expressed or written about just because of man's interpretation and man's ability to deal with it. Case in hell. It is not metaphorical, it's reality. God gave me two explanations. One, when Sodom and Gomorrah was about to be exposed, is how the spirit is the devil is here now. Let me just deal with the devil for a second. Please excuse my tongues. Reason it doesn't want me to express this. One, the day Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, because I know some people are having a hard time having a hard time accepting this word. And they questioned me. And I began to question myself, but I know what I saw. It was just about me being comfortable with expressing it the way the Lord showed me. Sodom and Gomorrah, when the Lord was about to destroy it, and he spoke to Abraham, and Abraham said, what if there is one righteous? Well, he started with a certain number, and he kept asking God, what if there's this many righteous? Would you still destroy it? What if there's this many righteous? Would you still destroy it? What if there's this many righteous? Would you still destroy it? So Abraham, please, I apologize, my spirit is being attacked. Abraham kept asking God about the righteous. And God says, if there are that many righteous in the city, I will not destroy it. And then the Lord left Abraham to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. But here is what is not expressed. Do you not think that there were kids in Sodom and Gomorrah? Amy Sparkis, do you not think, Wendy, good to see you, it's been a while. Do you not think that there were kids in Sodom and Gomorrah? And when the Lord was expressing to Abraham to say, what if there is any righteous? Will you not stop? Did you not think or believe that the kids would also be a part of that question concerning the righteous? There were kids there. The Bible does not express it, does not explicitly say it, but logic would tell you and dictate that there were kids in Sodom and Gomorrah when the Lord destroyed it. He could have saved them. He did not, because the word is about kids in hell. And people are expressing, but they do not understand why would they go there. The answer to the question is God only recognizes his spirit to those who will come and be with him. God will only recognize his spirit. Remember, we're speaking about the children of God now. Only the children of God come to heaven or be with the Father, which means that they resemble God, that God can express himself in that vessel to be his. So the question is, can the devil, Satan, Lucifer, whoever you want to call it, can he inhabit the spirit or the soul of a child? The quick answer to that is Yes, he can. Remember the young child who was possessed and was prone to harming himself. The disciples were struggling to depart the spirit within him, to which the Lord had to do it himself and said, this one requires a lot of faith and fasting and prayer. I know the Bible doesn't explicitly say how old the boy was. Perhaps you would know if it was said there. But understand, children can be inhabited by the devil, which means upon their death, if that spirit is still within them, they will not go with the Father. Now I know in your mind you're saying, but they are innocent. It's unfortunate that you do not see things in the spirit the way God sees them. Likewise, when the flood occurred and God saved the righteous in the boat and left those outside to their death, once again were children or kids not a part of it. What happened to them? Did they also not drown? I know this is an uncomfortable word, but it is a word that needs to be expressed at least once. One, children can be inhabited with the spirits of the damned, of the devil itself. Two, God only recognizes his spirit, which means any soul that is not bearing the spirit of God will not make it to heaven. Three, this word about children in hell is expressly those whom, by whatever reason or purpose, the devil has been able to infiltrate and remove their spirits, the spirit being the image of God within them, which has allowed them to end up in this place. I know many visions have not expressed it, but I am boldly speaking it that people can at least test the word, at least look. I'm giving you the ability to look for yourself to see if this word is true or not. I saw kids in hell in a vision. It is possible for you to look and to see as well if you can and are willing to see. And if so, then God will give you the revelation as to why. But one, again, Sodom and Gomorrah, there were kids there. God destroyed it. None were righteous. Two, when the flood occurred, with Noah, there were kids. Again, they were not saved, which means God had not seen righteousness within them. Three, those who mocked Elisha, the children of the kids who were mocking Elisha, or the prophet of God. It might have been Elijah, I forget. You can express it in the comments if you recall. And bears and lions were called to maul the kids. Again, the Lord could have stopped them. So I understand that children, yes, you want to look at them as innocent. Also bear the brunt if the Lord's Spirit is not upon them. They also bear the brunt if the Lord's Spirit is not upon them. But let me express it the way the Lord has said it to me. Kids do end up in hell. So explicitly, I will say it. Kids do end up in hell. If their spirits do not resemble that of God, they will not make it in God's court. Kids do end up in hell, even though the Bible may not say it. I've seen it, and I know what I've seen. Your decisions affect those of your children. It is fine if you want to go to hell by the choices you make by deciding to go there. But understand that your decisions can affect your children, your kids as well. Understand this word coming from the Spirit, by the Spirit. Test it if you need to. But understand that it's the Lord speaking. If you don't believe it, it is well. But understand the Lord's will must be done. And anything and everything that is against him will end up in the fire. Children included. If their spirits are not with God, they do not resemble God, they will not make it. And if they are not with God, where else will they end up? Please understand your children need to be saved. Please understand your children need to be saved. That is why God The Messiah, even on earth, said, "Do not prevent these kids from coming to me," because their kids had the ability to see him as well and to express their love to the Lord, their Savior. He is the Lord of all, children included. But if they are not with him, they do not resemble him, they will not end up with him in heaven. If you're going to end up in heaven, make sure your children come with you. If you're going to end up in heaven, make sure your children come with you. Having said that, the Lord also said this, because the things of the Spirit are a bit more in depth than one can express. There is a certain level that children, just in general, will not perceive and receive the full Spirit of God in the measure that God needs them to receive to function in the heavenlies. That is why you need to pray that your children do not fall to death before the expressed image of God can be implemented and imprinted on them. Pray that your children do not pass on before the full expressed image of God can be impressed and implanted in them. I know that may not make sense to some of you, but it is how I've heard it, and I'm just going to express it in that way. Pray your children do not leave this earth early, because some of them will not see the Father, because the spirits within them have not yet developed to be able to express the love of God, nor the image of the Father. It is a hard word to swallow, but I'm a prophet and I need to speak it, so at least somebody can discern it and help me interpret it. Pray for your children that they do not leave the earth early. Pray for your children that they will find salvation. Pray over them as well. Meridije fra arde do. Moridechre arde. Okay, that part I can't express it. It's a bit more in depth. I've said it the way I've heard it. It is fine if you disagree. I should imagine that many of you would. But remember the flood. God did not save the children. Remember Sodom and Gomorrah. Even though it does not explicitly say children were there, there were children, and none were found to be righteous, and it was destroyed. Remember the flood. Remember Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember in Egypt, when the firstborns were taken, many were still in their youth, some were older, all were deemed unrighteous and able to receive the mark of death from the Lord himself. Uncomfortable words, perhaps, but sometimes the truth just needs to be expressed in an uncomfortable way that people might wake up. Pray for your children. Let them be saved. Don't let them express themselves researching other religions, other faiths, telling yourself in your mind that they will find their way. You need to ensure that they keep their eyes on the Lord the same way that you keep your eyes on the Lord. Somebody knows this vision. Somebody has seen this before me. I will not express this unless somebody has at least seen it, that they can confirm this word. But if you have not, ask the Lord to reveal. If he has revealed to you otherwise, you can also tell me. I don't mind people telling me that I am wrong, but at least look and see. Look and see. Look and see. Don't be afraid to preach the Lord even to the kids. Be blessed.